따라 입맛 따라 이런 한국 와보지 않고는 모를걸?
Coming up on Arirang News. South Korea sent its smallest delegation since 1976. But with Kim Yoo-jin winning gold in the women's 57-kilogram taekwondo event, the country has already tied its own Olympic record of 13 golds. It is now aiming to beat it. Severe heat and tropical nights in the country have caused over 2,000 people to suffer from heat-related illnesses. Some have even lost their lives. The weather is also causing severe agricultural damage. Amid fears of an imminent war in the Middle East, the U.S. has warned Iran that it would suffer a devastating blow if it launches a major attack on Israel, while Israel's security cabinet met in the pit, the underground bunker, in fear of a strike. Thank you for joining us on Arirang News. I'm Kim Bo-kyung. We start in Paris, where the Summer Games are nearing their end. Team Korea has already surpassed its gold medal target, but could still win a few more. Our sports reporter Choi Soo-young has the details.
On Thursday local time, Team Korea claimed another gold thanks to Kim Yoo-jin winning the women's under 57-kilogram taekwondo event. It was the first gold medal for South Korea in this category in 16 years since 2008 in Beijing. With Wednesday's Park Tae-jun's gold in the men's under 58 kilograms, Korea, as the founder of the sport, has overcome the disappointment of not winning any gold medals at the Tokyo Olympics. Over the past 2 weeks, Team Korea has continuously brought home joyful medal news, winning 13 gold, 8 silver and 7 bronze so far. South Korea has already surpassed its initial goal of winning 5 gold medals and is on course to finish well above the 15th in the rankings that have been targeted beforehand. In terms of gold medals, they are now tied with their achievements at Beijing 2008 and London 2012. The results at the Paris Games are even more impressive given that Korea sent a delegation of 144 athletes, the smallest since the 1976 Montreal Games. Team Korea continues its golden legacy in archery, sweeping all 5 gold in total. This includes winning the women's team event for the 10th consecutive time and the men's team event for the 3rd consecutive time. The shooting team also claimed in total of 3 gold medals. In particular, at just 16 years old, Pan Hyo-jin won the women's 10-meter air rifle event, becoming South Korea's youngest Summer Olympics gold medalist and securing the country's 100th Summer Games gold. In badminton, world number 1 An Se-young showcased her dominance by winning the women's singles event, marking Korea's first victory in this category in 28 years. Coming up this weekend, in the modern pentathlon, Jeon Ung-tae and Seo Chang-won are aiming for more gold. High jumper Woo Sang-hyuk and breaking dancer Kim Hong-yeol, as known as Hong-tan, are ready to stand on the podium. With the Paris Olympics wrapping up on Sunday, more records and medals are anticipated for Team Korea. Choi Soo-young, Arirang News.
Staying in Paris, a number of Korean athletes at the Olympics this year have shot to fame not simply for their game, but for other actions and qualities. An Sung-jin takes a look.
The 2024 Paris Olympics has been eye-grabbing, not only for its fierce competition and performances, but also for its behind-the-scenes moments that show another side to the athletes. South Korean table tennis player Shin Yoo-bin is one of them. The 20-year-old won fans at home and abroad when the scene of her eating bananas, rice balls, and peaches went viral. She also had pictures of her with an ice pouch on her head, bringing even more attention. Her cute image gave her the nickname Byagi, which mimics the sound of a chick chirping in Korean. As Olympic stars grab attention, related products have also gained popularity. Peaches similar to the one eaten by Shin saw sales surge within days, and the number of searches for them also went up. Similarly, a pop-up store in Seoul saw strong sales of photo cards with various national team players on them, which had a 1-gram gold medal added. Most of the photo cards were already sold out early on. Commemorative coins for the Paris Olympics sold in convenience stores in South Korea were all sold out as well, reaching sales of up to 50 million won, or $36,000. As viewers found interest in Olympic stars, some enjoyed a bump in their popularity. National fencer Oh Sang-wook has been gaining fame for his charms. The 27-year-old was the first Korean fencer to win 2 gold medals in a single Olympics game. Since his appearance at the Olympics, his social media followers nearly doubled. South Korean silver-winning pistol shooter Kim Ye-ji also became a notable star as one of the coolest athletes. She went viral on social media with her style, futuristic eyeglasses, and cold chic look. Even Elon Musk, the head of Tesla Motors and social media platform X, commented on the platform that Kim should be cast in an action movie. The Olympic Games is about more than just the matches. It becomes an opportunity to get closer to the athletes that shine for the country. An Sung-jin, Arirang News.
The prolonged heat wave here in Korea this summer has led to several losses of lives and severe agricultural damage. Park Gun-woo has the details.
South Korea is continuing to suffer severe heat with heat wave warnings and advisories issued in most regions again on Friday. According to the Interior Ministry, over 2,000 people were treated for heat-related illnesses from late May until Wednesday. 19 fatalities were recorded during the same period, with more expected to be added to the tally, including 2 senior citizens who died while doing farm work on Wednesday. Agriculture in South Korea is also feeling the effects, with more than 500,000 livestock deaths recorded from June to early August, with poultry the worst hit. On Thursday, the ministry reported that some 80,000 animals died in a single day during that period. Fish farms, too, have reported huge losses with nearly 500,000 fish, including starry flounders and flatfish dead. And things could get worse still with the heat wave set to continue. Feels-like temperatures on Friday are forecast to reach around 35 degrees Celsius or higher. The country has seen little relief even at night, with 19 consecutive tropical nights recorded in Seoul, 17 in Incheon, and Pohang saw 16, while Jeju recorded 25. A tropical night occurs when temperatures fall no lower than 25 degrees overnight. Some regions, including Gyeryongdae province and the southern part of the country, will see temperatures drop due to sudden showers during the day, but figures are forecast to go right back up afterward. High temperatures are set to continue this weekend and next week. Park Gun-woo, Arirang News.
The number of COVID patients has sharply increased in recent weeks due to a summer resurgence of the virus. Infection numbers could rise further in the weeks to come. Cha Yoon-kyung has more.
There has been an increase in cases of COVID-19 recently. The virus detection rate of COVID-19 patients in Korea was 13% in the second week of July and about 40% in the first week of August. Inpatient cases have also been increased significantly. The number of inpatients with COVID-19 was 148 in the second week of July, but this has risen to 861 by the first week of August, increasing about 6-fold in a month. It has almost doubled comparing to a week before. Around 65% of those patients were aged 65 or older, and around 18% were aged from 50 years old to 64 years old. Several regions are experiencing a shortage of self-test kits and medication for COVID-19 due to the unexpected resurgence of the virus. The government announced that medication will be supplied twice a week instead of once a week starting from the first week of August. The government has also vowed to provide more than 5 million self-test kits within this month. It also said that there will be no disruption in hospital treatments for COVID-19 despite the ongoing medical walkout. However, the number of COVID-19 patients is expected to rise as the previous cycle of COVID-19 surged at the end of August. Experts say that personal hygiene, such washing hands and wearing masks, is important, especially for the elderly who have underlying diseases. The government has recommended people to get an updated vaccine for new variants, which is available from October, along with a flu shot. 차윤경, Arirang News.
President Yoon wrapped up his 5-day summer vacation with a visit to Gyeryongdae, where the headquarters of the military's 3 branches are located. According to a written statement on Friday, the president took time to encourage troops while they get ready for the Ulchi Freedom Shield exercise. He checked the Wartime Command Center facilities and was briefed by the chiefs of staff of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The top office said that this vacation was one for livelihoods and security. President Yoon has repeated his message of saying security means economy. His vacation started on Monday with his visit to a presidential retreat on Jeodo Island, and during the week he stayed at a naval base in Chine before arriving at Gyeryongdae on Thursday. On the international front, Ukrainian forces reportedly continued their attacks deeper into the Kursk region in southwestern Russia on Thursday local time, with weapons provided by the West. This is 3 days since Ukraine began one of the largest cross-border incursions since the war started in 2022. Around 350 square kilometers have reportedly been captured in the Kursk area. The Russian Defense Ministry said on Thursday that Moscow has been blocking Ukraine from getting deeper inside. On the same day, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia must feel the consequences of the war without commenting on the recent incursion directly. The U.S. has warned Iran of serious economic risks for any retaliatory attack on Israel. Meanwhile, the Israeli cabinet held an underground bunker meeting amid fears of a wider confrontation that looks imminent. Moon Hae-ryun has the latest.
Amid fears of a massive Iranian retaliatory attack against Israel for the killing of a Hamas leader and a top Hezbollah commander, the U.S. has warned that Iran's economy could pay a heavy price should such actions be taken. On Thursday, the Wall Street Journal reported that a senior U.S. official stated the warning was directly conveyed to Tehran, as well as through intermediaries. He said the notice made clear that there is a serious risk of consequences for Iran's economy and the stability of its newly elected government if it goes down that path. This means that Washington could impose economic sanctions on Iran. The Biden administration has been trying to work towards a ceasefire in Gaza, joining calls from leaders in Egypt and Qatar for Israel and Hamas to resume negotiations on August 15th. Although the senior official cited that the U.S. government does not expect a deal to be made on that day, he said preparations for talks are likely to resume soon. The U.S. has also made it clear that it is ready to defend Israel, with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin approving the deployment to the Middle East and Europe of additional Navy cruisers and destroyers capable of shooting down ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, the Israeli Security Cabinet held a meeting at an underground bunker known as the Pit on Thursday night. Despite rumors that the meeting took place at the underground command room over fears of an Iranian strike, Israel says the event was a drill for a potential emergency situation. Located under the Security Ministry's headquarters, the last time such a meeting took place at the Pit was in April, when Iran responded to an Israeli attack on its embassy in Syria by firing hundreds of drones and missiles towards Israeli targets. With an escalation in tensions in the Middle East, Israel is continuing to conduct airstrikes in Gaza, killing at least 40 Palestinians on Thursday, according to Palestinian health authorities. Palestinian health authorities say close to 40,000 Palestinians have been killed and more than 90,000 others have been injured since last October. Moon Hae-ryun, Arirang News.
As tensions escalate in the Middle East, South Korea's foreign ministry is undertaking efforts to protect its citizens overseas. On Friday, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that it held a meeting to examine the recent situation in the Middle East with the ambassadors to Israel, Lebanon, Iran, and the head of the Palestinian office. Second Vice Minister Kang In-sun once again asserted that it is recommended for South Koreans in Lebanon and Israel to leave and requested close monitoring and all efforts to ensure people's safety. The second highest travel ban warning was issued earlier this week to the two countries. Currently, there are around 540 South Korean citizens in Israel, 110 in Lebanon, and 110 in Iran. Over in the U.S., a highly anticipated televised debate has been set for September 10th by ABC Network, featuring Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. In the meantime, a new poll suggests Harris is slightly ahead of Trump. Our foreign affairs correspondent, Bae-eun-ji, has the details.
U.S. presidential nominees Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have agreed to debate on ABC News on September 10th. The network announced in a statement on Thursday U.S. local time that the vice president and the former president have both confirmed their attendance.
Well, I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
Speaking at a news conference, Trump said he's looking forward to the face-off and that he wants to add 2 more debates.
With all of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates, and we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC.
Fox News proposed a debate early next month, and NBC News is also planning to air one later in September. Harris posted on social media that she was looking forward to the debate on September 10th, after Trump finally committed and told reporters that she was open to discussing more. Amid a tight race between the 2 candidates, Trump suggested he should be able to influence decisions made by the Federal Reserve if he becomes president again. With growing concerns over a U.S. recession, Trump said that people on Wall Street believe if he doesn't win, the U.S. is going into a depression. The war in the Middle East is another factor dividing Republicans and Democrats. During a campaign rally in Michigan on Wednesday night, Harris fired back at pro-Palestinian protesters of Israel's war in Gaza as they interrupt her speech. About halfway through her remarks, protesters shouted they won't vote for genocide, suggesting that the war in Gaza remains a major issue among voters. Meanwhile, a new poll shows Kamala Harris is seen widening her lead over Donald Trump. According to a poll released by Ipsos on Thursday, Harris held an approval rating of 42%, compared to Trump's 37%. This comes just days after Harris picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. But it still remains to be seen whether the first debate between Harris and Trump next month will lead to a massive change in the race. Bae-eun-ji, Arirang News.
Meanwhile, North Korea has applied to register taekwondo as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity on its own, as seen on the UNESCO website. The application was submitted in March, but was belatedly confirmed on Friday. An official from the Korea Heritage Service from South Korea explained that intangible cultural properties are not an exclusive concept that only a single country can apply for, as seen with the example of shirim, a type of wrestling that was jointly registered at UNESCO under both Koreas. He continued to say that South Korea will submit its own application for taekwondo if the North's application is approved. Currently, North Korea has a total of 4 intangible cultural heritages. A former UN official from Canada, known to be an expert on North Korea, has been detained in Switzerland on charges of espionage. The Canadian was arrested by Swiss authorities a few months ago on suspicions of spying, most likely for China. Now, this is according to joint coverage on Thursday by German news outlet Der Spiegel, Swiss media company Tamedia, and NK News. The man in his 50s is believed to have met often with North Korean officials in Geneva and relayed information to Chinese agents while traveling to China as an environmental consultant. There have been some frightening stories about electric vehicle fires in recent times, and given this reality, authorities here have shared a few strategies to ease public concerns. Our Lee Soo-jin has more.
With growing concerns in South Korea about the safety of electric vehicle batteries, there is a lot of attention on how to deal with EV battery fires. Firefighters here are demonstrating what they do when an electric vehicle catches on fire. They begin by spraying the entire vehicle with a hose, then place a device beneath it that sprays water like a fountain, ensuring the water reaches the batteries located under the car. The firefighters then covered the vehicle with a fire blanket in order to prevent the fire from spreading. After that, fire suppressor tubes are placed around the vehicle and filled with water until the battery is completely submerged. But this means that lots of equipment is needed to extinguish the fire. As such, efforts are underway to supply fire blankets to every apartment complex in Incheon to help with the initial response to a battery fire.
We plan to distribute one vehicle fire suppression blanket to each of Incheon's approximately 1,600 apartment complexes.
Incheon is where an electric Mercedes-Benz sedan parked in an underground parking lot of an apartment complex suddenly caught fire last Thursday. According to the firefighters, the car was not being charged. The fire damaged more than 140 cars and left 23 people hospitalized, raising concerns about the safety of electric vehicle batteries. While there's also growing interest in fire extinguishers specifically designed to put out lithium-ion battery fires, it may be difficult for individuals to completely put out the fire with just an extinguisher, even in the early stages. This is why one expert said that the most effective measure would be to improve parking lot safety.
Fire compartments should be set up in underground parking lots, and in the long term, charging stations should be installed on the ground level to encourage electric vehicle owners to park above ground.
Meanwhile, the South Korean government is set to come up with a comprehensive plan to deal with the rising number of fires sparked by electric vehicles. The Ministry of Environment said on Thursday that it will host an emergency meeting on the 12th of August for relevant government agencies, including the Ministries of Industry and Transport and the National Fire Agency. 이수진, Arirang News.
The feels-like temperatures have stayed at 35 degrees in Seoul, with tropical nights continuing for 18 straight days. With heatwave warnings in effect in most parts of the country, Seoul will be as hot as 34 degrees Celsius tomorrow. For the time being, there will be frequent showers due to atmospheric instability. The fifth typhoon of the season, Typhoon Maria, hit waters south of Japan yesterday, but it seems that there will be no significant impact on South Korea. The typhoon will continue to move northward and develop into a moderate intensity by the end of this week and pass waters east of Tokyo. Tomorrow, Seoul and Jeju will start off at 27 degrees. Highs will move up to 33 to 34 all over the country. This heat is expected to continue even after Malbok and National Liberation Day. That's all for Korea. Here are the weather conditions around the world.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching. Arirang News will be back on Monday, 9 a.m. Korea time. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.
There is no greater blessing than to have good health as you grow old. Even though my mom is over